What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for another Community Crunch reveal for you all today, and today we're taking a little bit more of a look at the DESMODUS DRACULAE. Now guys, we have our first official art of the DESMODUS, and I've got to say, it looks absolutely incredible. Now, before we go over some of the information in the Community Crunch, let's just quickly take a look at this image. Now, first off, they're obviously going to be found in caves, judging by the artwork that we've got here. The render, I should say, because I'm pretty sure this is taken from the render models from Ark. Now, first off, obviously we're in a cave. There is a whole heap of them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all I can see on the screen at the moment anyway. But there's 6 of them all together in a cluster. Now, that's kind of terrifying, especially if you want to go ahead and try and tame one of these individuals. So it does appear that they will be spawning in groups together, in packs. I don't know what a plural of a swarm of bats? Is that, I don't know. Is that what a plural is of bats? But yeah, absolutely terrifying. Does look like they'll have the capacity to walk as well as flying. So they won't be like the Onyx where they can only stagnate in the air. It looks like they can also land, which is great. But let's go over the information that we are provided. So, welcome to another edition of the Community Crunch. You only have a few more days to gather those bunny eggs and hop into an excellent adventure. No excuses. This week, the Fjordur hype train takes a stop to look at a monstrous creature that's very familiar to the community, DESMODUS. Now, announced as the third creature to land on Fjordur, DESMODUS was the second winner of the community creature vote. The original creature submission garnered a lot of attention, and the rest is Ark community history. DESMODUS won with 40,000 votes versus the Cjthecheesedj with only 25,000 votes in the 9th and final round. As you might imagine, DESMODUS prefers to hang out in dark places, waiting for its unsuspecting prey. If you're lucky enough to tame one, you can send DESMODUS to snatch up small prey or saddle up and vanish into the darkness. So, whew. Not gonna lie, this is looking pretty juicy. Now, we also have the Dosier. Now, I honestly don't think we've had a Dosier for the DESMODUS. I'm pretty sure we haven't had a Dosier yet. I can't remember. Nonetheless, let's go over it real quick. So, wild DESMODUS, even with all the other monstrosities around here, this fugitive from a creature? No, that doesn't seem right, nonetheless. Double feature deserves top billing. I mean, Dracula's right there in its species name, and DESMODUS has a shriek that'll scare just about anything out of its way. It's also shrewd enough to limit itself to victims that it can carry off into the night. Although I'm not superstitious enough to advise stocking up on garlic and steaks before you decide to track down DESMODUS, for yourself, I'd still advise you to hunt these horrors out in the light and away from their caves. They seem uniquely adept at flying and hiding in those dark, narrow spaces. Now, we can see here there's an image of the DESMODUS shrieking, and it appears to be doing it on a pack of raptors. So it looks like raptors are terrified of the DESMODUS, which makes sense. I gotta say, this like render right here, it's pretty damn sick. Although its legs look normal if it's hanging upside down. So, domesticated, taming one of these beasties lets you add its eerie abilities to your arsenal. Use their unsettling scream to scatter your enemies. Command DESMODUS to snatch up small prey for you. Let its uncanny power to vanish into darkness become your personal stealth mode. DESMODUS has blood thinner in its saliva, which drains prey of more blood than this vampire could ever digest. If you can stomach the excess blood and drained meat your vampire pet leaves behind, you must be open-minded enough to appreciate another of its unholy gifts, a sanguine elixir that helps enthrall the most stubborn beasts. Now that sounds cool. So it sounds like with the DESMODUS's saliva and excess blood and meat, it sounds like you can turn it into a potion or some sort that might help you tame creatures, possibly to help provide torpor to them or to actually increase their taming effectiveness, which is really cool. And I got to say, these little pictures on the side here are really dope. So straight off the bat, we've got 4 abilities there. So he can screech, can carry off small creatures. We have the elixir, and it also has a stealth mode. So I'm assuming that if it's dark enough, you can actually dip into the shadows sort of thing with your DESMODUS. It might have like a similar to like the Rock Drake's cloaking ability, where it's able to like turn off this stealth mode. Technically, maybe not make itself invisible, but maybe make itself like kind of like as black as the night sort of thing. And it does have the ability to carry small creatures. So we see here it is a raptor. I'm assuming that it's probably not going to be able to carry anything bigger than that. we do kind of have it for scale here, like in terms of size. So it does look like it's a little bit bigger than a raptor. So I'm thinking probably in between a Carno and a raptor in terms of size. When it's on the ground anyway. Its wingspan does look rather large. But yeah, I would wager it's probably in between a Carno and a raptor size. So the DESMODUS is shaping up to honestly be one of the dopest creatures so far. I'm really keen for the DESMODUS to come to Fjordur. Look at this guy just dangling right here. Looks absolutely terrifying, but in such a good way. In such a good way. I'm super excited to get into these guys and see what else they can do. But let's come back to the community crunch. So the official Ark Wiki is moving. If you guys aren't aware, you can still type in Ark Wiki on Google and it will take you to the webpage. The webpage itself is much smoother and a lot nicer than the original one, and you don't get ads popping up from the top anymore. So you can go over that. There's not really too much here. So the ads are displayed, what's not changing, everything that is there. So all the stuff is still all the same. You can still go into it and go ahead and just click on whatever it is that you need to look for. You can see here we've got access to everything. So definitely check out the new wiki if you haven't already, but it's definitely much nicer than the previous version. And you can also become an editor as well of it if you really want to. So don't forget to do that. No Evo event because there's already one going on. So make sure to get the most out of the excellent adventure. And then we have the community corner. So I'll let you guys read the community stories if you really want to. I'll just keep moving on for it. So we've got the Pilgrims Project creating a paddle steamer raft base. Definitely check out the Pilgrims Project videos. He does an amazing job with making so many different base designs and stuff like that. And we also have Nexus World, which is the Spanish Arcadia survival series that they do. We have a bunch of fan art, which is honestly mind-blowingly amazing. I love this one in particular and the Shadowmane one. It looks absolutely incredible. And we've got a tech parasol here as well. And the Island Guardians. This one just takes the cake for me. We also have an Ice Wyvern. And then we have some in-game screenshots of a trike. And I've got to say, whew, this screenshot right here, it's mint. It's up there. It's got to be one of the nicest screenshots I've seen. So kudos to the creators that made it to the community crunch. And I am very excited for the DESMODUS DRACULAE to come to the world of Ark on Fjordur. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video today. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.